Page 61, Scarborough Fair. On page 60, they're introducing you to some minor scales. See, I wish they'd have done this before they tried to talk about the chords. Let's go over briefly a little bit about minor scales. For every major scale, there is a minor scale with the same key signature. We call them related. They're related by key signatures. Therefore, it is called a relative minor. In the key of C major, it's got no sharps or flats. The corresponding minor scale that has no sharps or flats is A minor. They're talking about F major here. The corresponding minor scale for that is D minor. It has one flat, just like F major does. And for G major, which has one sharp, its corresponding minor is E minor. I don't have all that memorized. I just calculate it very quickly in my head each time. And that is because I can visualize a minor third. I'm so used to the intervals, the minor third. A minor third is 3 half steps. Here. Half steps, notes are next to each other. That's a half step. It's the closest you can get. 1, 2, 3. It's a minor third. If I go down, 1, 2, 3, it's a minor third. The relative minor is a minor third below the major. Makes no sense at all, huh? So C major, if I go down a minor third, I get to an A minor. A minor is the relative minor to C major. I just calculate this. I just take a minor third down each time. G major has one sharp. G, if I go down a minor third, 1, 2, 3. E minor, I get E. It's relative minor. One sharp. F major, again, I go down a minor third from F. So it's F. So 1, 2, 3. D minor is the relative minor to F major. And that's how I do this every time. I know the key signatures to all the majors because I play the scales regularly. Not a problem. But on the minors, when they're related and what's going on, I have to think major and then I calculate the minor real quick. Because I can visualize a piano keyboard in my head and I can visualize a minor third real quick. And I know exactly what the minor scale is to it. Or if I'm thinking in a minor scale, let's say for instance we have an F sharp minor, whatever that is, and I think what is its relative major, I go up a minor third from F sharp. That's an A major. A major has 3 sharps. F sharp minor has 3 sharps. So I do that. Because I don't want to memorize all that junk. Forget that. But that got me through all those years of music theory back in college and all that stuff. That really helped me out a lot. You'll come up with your own methods of remembering this stuff and figuring it out for you. But that worked for me. Now let's add another curve to it. Different kinds of minors. The minor we've been talking about, let's go to A minor. No sharps or flats, all white keys. It's called a natural minor because it just uses all the natural notes according to the key signature. I don't mean natural notes as in white keys. I mean natural notes as in within the key signature. It's only following the notes in the key signature. Well, we have what's called a harmonic minor, which simply takes the 7th step and takes it up a half a step. So remember all the notes are numbered steps in a scale. So if it's in A, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1 again. Well, that 7th step, I simply take it up a half a step to here. So instead of playing this, I play this, and I get this. Sounds cool. That's the harmonic minor. In my scale videos on minor scales that I'm asking you to learn, I use harmonic minor throughout all of them because that's the most common one used. There's the other kind of minor is called a melodic minor. We don't use it much. It's used more in vocal music, and that's where they'll raise the sixth and seventh step going up, and they'll play the regular notes coming down. So in A minor, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the natural coming down. That's a melodic minor. Kind of depends on which direction you're going. Don't worry about it. But I would ask you to learn the harmonic minor and understand the natural minor and know what a relative minor is. But that's what they're talking about on page 60. We'll get more of this later on, but right now we'll just know there's relative minors to these. And at this point, I would encourage you to go do my scales on those minor keys. So when you do scales, you do it according to key signature. So if I'm going to do the C major scale, I will automatically also do the A minor scale because it's the same key signature. I want to cover them both. So from now on, you got major scales and minor scales to cover. If you're not familiar with them, you do them up one octave, up and down, both hands to learn the notes and the fingering. If you've already done them and you know them, then go ahead and do them 2 octaves up and down to get good practice at that. Now, let's talk about page 61. Scarborough Fair is in the key of D minor. It's got 1 flat. Like F major has 1 flat, D minor is the relative minor, it's got 1 flat. Right hand, don't have a lot going on. You have a dotted rhythm in the first measure of the second line. 3, 4 times, so it's 1 and 2 and 3. I know there are people who are having problems with this because in the left hand they're all quarter notes. 1, 2, 3. And that 8th note comes in between those 2 quarter notes. And that throws people off. So it's 1, and they have trouble with that, but do the best you can. It will come eventually. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So there. Your hand will move around a little bit in the right hand. The left hand doesn't do much. It stays in this vicinity for the most part, so that I don't expect it's just broken chords. I'm shifting my weight. The arm and wrist will do whatever they do. I'm just shifting my weight from note to note. I'm exaggerating it for the camera so you can see it better, but actually it's a small motion. Right hand's going to move around, follow their finger and you'll be fine. Look at the 3rd line down, the last 2 measures. Right hand, it's a 4 on the C, and then a 2, and then a 5. That's fine. That's good fingering. And then for the last one, you got to bring your second finger down, and then lift up to the phrase, so you can use the thumb again. Don't have to, but lift up. That's important. That last line of first measure, you could play that D, the last note in the measure, with second finger also. But just make sure you lift up. Then play the half note D in the next measure with the thumb. So those first 2 measures in the last line, that's fine. Now at the end, the last 2 measures, you're here. You can play the last note with 3rd finger. That's okay. The quarter note in the left hand with the fermata, I'm going to hold it 2 counts instead of 1, and I'm not using pedal. I see no point in pedaling. If all they're going to do is pedal the last measure, I don't understand why they're doing that. I really don't. I see no point in it. I mean, if you haven't released the dampers by now, why do it at the end? I mean, you're supposed to be dying away. You're not creating more sound. No, I don't know. I'm going to give us 3 counts. Let's try this out slowly together. Notice the dynamics. P, piano at the beginning of the left hand, and then when the right hand comes in, it's MP, medium soft. So you can keep soft on the left hand. That's fine. Just play the right hand louder than the left hand. Just keep the left hand softer than the right. That says the same thing. Never mind. 1, ready, go.